Yo. Unconventionally Miles podcast, another episode. Want to make sure I continuously give you guys great content. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Give me some feedback. Also chime in. I definitely want to try to keep giving you guys informative information that you guys can utilize and digest, provide to your friends, family, loved ones, including yourself. One of the big things that I see going on, whether it's with myself, friends, family, loved ones, co-workers, is how impactful and how important it is to understand mental health and also how to weather the storm to gain clarity on what's taking place and not to beat yourself up when you're going through something that is mentally draining or you're battling something that you feel you're battling on your own, right? So for me, I always try to give myself a moment of clarity. That moment of clarity is extremely important on my day-to-day battles, on my weekly battles, my monthly battles, my yearly battles in relationships, friends, family, co-workers. Sometimes it could be a struggle. Sometimes your morals and ethics are tested, and it's always up to you to not waver on those morals that you really believe in, those ethic codes that was instilled in you, right? So I want to try to see if I can help individuals find the balance between mental health and finding clarity. They go hand in hand, in my opinion, right? It's extremely important to always see the clarity even in a negative situation, and that clarity is going to allow you to know what you're going through is happening for a season or a small amount of time. Okay, so let's just touch on mental health. Is anyone going through any issues or anything mentally that they're really battling where it's hard to get through the day? If so, you're not alone. It happens to all of us. It happens to the best of us. You know, and my advice would be try not to internalize anything that you're going through like you're the only one. I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions, is that you're the only one going through that issue, or you're the only one that's ever been through that issue. And this is why communication is extremely important as well, because you'll be surprised who you may be around that has went through some of those things or can give you advice. Some of the biggest people I thought I wouldn't be cool with or have a relationship with, I was able to bond with them over tragedies that happened. The irony behind that. So for me, mental health can often feel like a maze, like it feels like a maze, no clear exit. You just constantly trying to figure the exit for it to end, and I just want to focus on how to find moments of clarity through brief instances of understanding and some insight that can illuminate the path to well-being. I have a ton of friends that express some things that they're mentally going through. I had a conversation with one of my family members today, and he gave me some information, and I was just like, damn, if I was in that situation, if I was going through what you're going through, like, what would I do? You know who I'm talking about. You know what I mean? I applaud you, bro, because you're handling it like a man. You're actually going through it, and you're facing it head on. And I know it's difficult, bro. Like, I know it's difficult. Like, I don't know if I'd be able to handle it as good as you do, so I applaud you for that. And, for anything, I'm always here to assist as well, bro, but I just want to give you your flowers, because once again, it could seem like you're the only one going through something. You're the only one who ever went through what you're currently going through, but being able to have a conversation and talk about it is how you relieve the pressure sometimes. And there's no judgment behind it. It's no judgment at all. You know what I'm saying? So those are just some things, man, like clarity, mental health is tough. So my question to some of you guys in the audience is, what does it mean to find clarity in mental health? Like, what does that mean to you? Like, take a moment and think about it. Like, what does it mean to find clarity when you're going through a mental health battle? For me, after thinking about that question and this episode for quite some time, and some of the reasons why it take me maybe a little longer to provide or deliver an episode is because I really like to be in deep thought, and I really like to digest what I would like to discuss. Therefore, I can add value to maybe some things someone's going through, right? Or what I'm going through. But it's for me, the clarity in mental health is the moments when our thoughts, which often seem like tangled together, like, and confusing, right? Like, they kind of align in a way that makes sense to us, but at the same time, it doesn't make sense enough for us to articulate ourselves to other individuals, right? And clarity for me is like, I look at it like a fog, right? Or when I'm in a mental health situation, I look at it like a fog. But the clarity portion of it is like when the fog lifts, and when I can see the road ahead, and I can see the positivity, and I can see the goals, I can see the progression, I can see the good things happening, right? So if we're looking through a lens or a microscope or a telescope or glasses, and we can't see, it's blurry, it's foggy, sometimes that's the mental health battle. We can't see what's on the other side because we're in it, right? And then we're able to clear the lens, clear our glasses, clear our scope, right? And we can see the actual road. That's the clarity component, right? And it's all stages. We all have to go through those stages, right? Falling in love with the process, disturbing our comfort zone. I wouldn't want anyone to deliberately go through mental health battles, but that's life. We're all gonna go through it. But the biggest thing is making sure you don't feel like you're going through it alone, and always having guidance or someone to talk to. Some individuals that don't feel they have friends, family members, or anyone they could talk to during their battles, and that's when they go to counseling. There's nothing wrong with going to counseling at all. At all. It's just nothing wrong. It's just nothing wrong with it. Like, for me, oh man, this last year, mental health battles was high. It took me a long period of time to really understand and really see the vision through and see things happen that normally I see progression a lot faster, you know? So shit was crazy. Becoming a loan officer, that was one of the things that is still tough, but it feels a lot better. I got a great team around me. Telling myself, you know what? I want to stop doing this job as my primary, and I want to take on another interest, hobby, and passion that I don't have no experience in, but I want to try it. I lost a ton of money, right? This could be the negative way of thinking about it. I lost a ton of money. I lost a ton of time. I built relationships I didn't need, and I dealt with different episodes I shouldn't have dealt with. That's me thinking about it negatively. And that basically, me thinking about it that way, it took me about 3 to 4 months to finally get out of it, right? The positive side was I didn't lose a lot of money. I paid for my experiences. I met people that I could build with. And even if we don't do any transactions in the mortgage business now, down the line we may do business, or I may be able to refer somebody to them, or they refer somebody to me, right? The episodes and the things that happened that didn't have anything to do with me, it allowed me to see a certain type of the business that now I know that's out there. I know what to watch out from. I know what not to be around, right? And certain relationships I thought was cool really wasn't. It's like that. Sometimes people in your life for a season or a reason. Once you understand what it is, then it's up to you to determine how you're going to move forward with it, right? So now I'm in a whole new year, right? It's still tough, but I understand what I do what I'm going to do and what I don't want. Going into it blind, I really couldn't see, and that was the foggy part of the lack of clarity. But now it's a lot more clear on how I want to move and how I want to carry myself and what I will not. I didn't at all waver on my ethics or morals, but my morals and ethics, it was many times I was put in situations that individuals try to test that, right? So it's like we all go through it. People see me in a day-to-day basis or hear from me or may hear me on a podcast and they be like, oh, he seemed like he got it together. Listen, man, it's far few in between now, but I go through it as well. So you're not alone on that component, right? So that's very important. Another question I want to have for you guys. The power of mindfulness and how important that is in your life. When you think of mindfulness, what do you think of? Like, what do you think of when you think of mindfulness? For me, mindfulness is another key during your moment of clarity. It's not just a buzzword. It's something that we practice over and over that brings us back to the present moment. And that present moment is vital because it allows us to know what's really taking place. Also, it helps me, and I hope it helps others, clear the mental clutter of the fogginess when you can't find clarity in a situation that you're going through. So for me, like one of my homeboys, he said, hey man, I do breathing methods. I used to look at him like, what are you talking about? Breathing methods, you sound weird. He used to ask me, yo, you do meditation? I'm like, no. Like, why would I do meditation? Until you find yourself in a situation, you pray and you're super flustered. You just find yourself taking deep breaths. You know what I'm saying? And then you go from deep breaths to meditating. Like, it happens so fast and you don't realize it's taking place until you realize it's taking place because you're self-aware of what you're doing. Sometimes for me, silence is the best thing in life. People say I get a day off, which I really don't, but they say, what do you want to do on your day off, for instance? I say, I just want to not do anything. I just want to have my mind in peace. I want to have silence. I want to be mentally peaceful. That's what I need sometimes. Maybe that's what you need. Think about it. It's so much noise going on. You really don't get time to think about what really matters, and you don't get to not have your mind rambling about what's going next. Think about it. The power of being mindful and the mindfulness. Now, are you going through any mental health episodes? Are you going through anything mentally that you feel like you really can't hold it together? And if you are, what strategies do you use? Like, what strategies do you use to help yourself come out on the other side of the current situation you're going through and it being more positive than negative? What does that look like? I want y'all to think about those things and write those things down, or mentally hold those thoughts in your head when you go through something, or just come back to the podcast, right? Sooner than later, this podcast is going to be more live and more in video as well, where I want to have some of my listeners also chime in on some of the things they're going through or have been through, and we can kind of build together. That's the goal. The goal is each one teach one, right? So that's important. Very important. So apart from self-awareness and mindfulness, what other strategies do you think you can use to nurture your mental well-being? For me, I just try to explore healthy habits, eat better, get a good night rest, be around more positive people, continuously do the things that I love and I like doing. For some people, it may be being around family, kids, wife, husband. For some people, it may be taking a long walk. Whatever that is, you got to figure out what makes you happy. And sometimes we say, well, our kids make us happy, or our wife or husband make us happy. But what makes you happy when those individuals ain't around? Or what makes you happy when those individuals may be the ones getting on your nerve? You have to have an alternative than those individuals, right? Because we're all going to be mad at one another, angry at one another, or we're all going to get on each other's nerve at some point. But What are those things that make you happy without you needing anyone else in your immediate family? It's very important. Now, just another thing, having a good support system. And if you don't have a good support system, professional help. Professional help. I haven't got to the point where I needed professional help as of yet. But if I did, I wouldn't think twice about it at all. I wouldn't think twice about it. You know, so I just want to chime in and talk about mental clarity. Think about what mental clarity means. Think about what a moment of clarity means. What steps we can take today to clear our minds and find peace. Right? I want y'all to reflect on some of the questions that I asked, some of the information that I provided. I don't think I'm 100% right or always right, but I think I'm on the right track. I know I'm on the right track. And I know some of the tools I utilize or some of the tools individuals gave me that I wasn't using that I utilize can definitely help other individuals, right? So just some closing things to think about, right? Finding clarity in mental health is a journey, not a destination. So don't rush to get there. It takes time. And that's one of the biggest things that individuals lack. They want to rush the result to success. Sometimes success is literally a marathon. We don't know when that finish line was going to be. But staying consistent when you're not motivated, you will get there. Trying every day, making sure every day you try to get further than you were the previous day is going to matter. Right? It's about continuously learning and understanding of oneself. Self-awareness. Self-awareness. You're being aware of yourself. Sometimes being by yourself or finding peace in solitude is important. You don't always need to be around individuals to be peaceful or happy, right? Sometimes it's you. You need to take that moment to get a clear thought of what's taking place and building goals and strategies and steps to help you and your family and friends and your loved ones get out of a situation. And sometimes our biggest fight is with our own mind, right? And if someone tells you they're having a mental breakdown, take it seriously. Don't laugh at it. Don't brush it off. You know, do not brush it off. Like, mental health is very important, and mental health awareness is just as vital. And making sure you find your moment of clarity, which is also protecting your peace, that I have in another episode. Right? Remember, it's okay to seek help. It's okay to take your time. It's okay to speak to others. It's okay to break down. All of that's okay. But the goal is making sure no matter what you're going through, no matter when you're going through it, you find your moment of clarity. Mr. Frequent Flyer Mouse, just some things that was on my mind. I'm going through a lot positively, but a lot of my friends and loved ones is going through some things mentally. And sometimes if me and my friends, loved ones, or coworkers, we can't verbally have the conversation, sometimes I put it in a podcast format, just send it their way. And hopefully this can alleviate some of the issues that they're going through. Make sure you leave some comments. Make sure you ask some questions. I want this to definitely be informative. I want to make sure sometimes when I come on a podcast is more or less a topic that I want you to question if you're going through it or how you can help others around you. Right? This is definitely my goal is to educate, motivate, and inspire. And if I could do any of those things, I did my job, and I want to continuously do it. Unconventionally Mouse, thank you so much for listening to the episode. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you forward it to some of your friends. And I'm out. 1.